In general, stress often refers to two things: the psychological perception of pressure or overwhelm on the one hand, and the body's response to it on the other. Some stress is necessary for all living things. It's how we encounter and respond to uncertainty and the challenges of life. Without some kind of stress on our bodies and in our lives, we won't grow. Our body's built for short-term stress. We couldn't survive without the physical and mental advantage the stress response gives us. The chemical cascade that takes place in the body as a result of a stressful event, like a near miss while driving through an intersection, helps us escape dangerous situations. It's when we're stressed on a long-term basis that we start experiencing the negative effects that stress can bring to our bodies and our brains. And while stress can be challenging to manage at any age, it can become more difficult as the years progress, making it even harder to recover from stressful events. Well, here's the good news. You can take control, creating a reserve of resilience to help you through life's challenges. There are many effective strategies that can boost your well-being and give you the edge over stress. Exercise, proper nutrition, getting enough sleep, and being connected to a community are very effective tools to beat back stress. But today, I'd like to talk about a few less obvious but very powerful stress management strategies that can create real change in your life. Let's explore the power of mindset. Research shows that the way you think about stress has a real impact on your health and ability to cope. Studies show that shifting your stress mindset can blunt the negative effects of stress and even lead to positive ones. Stress management is a learned process by which we can teach ourselves to change some of our own perceptions about life's challenges while working towards gaining a sense of control over our circumstances. As you challenge any negative attitudes and perceptions about stress, remember, even when you can't change a difficult situation, you can learn to take control of your reactions and responses. Now let's talk about meaning and purpose. If we were sitting across the table in a quiet coffee shop and I asked you about your life's purpose, what would you tell me? What are the core values that are most important to you? Identifying and connecting your values into your actions can be the change you need to take control of your life and your stress levels. And the research shows that spending time defining and reflecting on your values can help you cope. According to Dr. Kelly McGonigal, the author of The Upside of Stress, in the short term, writing about personal values makes people feel more powerful, in control, proud, and strong. It also makes them feel more connected and empathetic toward others. It increases pain tolerance and reduces unhelpful rumination after a stressful experience. Taking just 10 minutes to write about your values and connecting them to action, even just one time, can help you persevere through the trials that life inevitably brings, and you'll reap the benefits for months or even years into the future. So, how do we put this information into play? Let's take just a moment to think about the values that animate our lives. Here are some examples of values and priorities. As you look at the list we've provided to get you started, choose a word or two that describes your value system. Then grab a pencil and paper and write them down. After choosing at least one value, write about why the specific value you chose is important to you. If you were facing a challenge, how this value might guide you. I'm going to invite Jenny into the conversation. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Sharlyn.
Do you mind working this through with me?
I would love to.
Is there a value on the list that's important to you?
So looking at the list, there were definitely a couple that popped out. One, family, and one, kindness.
Can you think of a way that this value has been reflected in your actions today or even in the recent past?
So I probably have many opportunities where maybe my kindness has been challenged. I can think of one specific example, and that is grocery shopping. And anymore, I don't love to grocery shop. And I literally had this happen last week where I was at the grocery store walking through, and someone was not very patient and not very thoughtful of others around. And I really had to dig down and remind myself that kindness is very important to me. And honestly, when I left and I really thought through, I felt so much better leaving the store too, that I had taken that route.
So you were kind instead of reacting the same way that they presented to you.
Absolutely.
So taking a few moments to work through this process really has changed the way that I connect with my meaning and purpose. What are your takeaways? Are there any takeaways from delving a little deeper into your values and how they relate?
So this exercise, what really came to light for me was the idea of actually writing down my values. Because I know I have others besides those two that I focus on, but really taking the time to pick a couple and dive in and understand how those values really do reflect my person and how I treat others. It was really good for me.
Well, remember, when stressful situations arrive, there are only really two things you can do to control the situation. If you can't change the stressor itself, your only choice is to change your reaction. Your mindset, both how you think about stress and how you act out your values, finding purpose and meaning in your life, can change the way you experience stress, minimizing your risk for chronic disease. So, as you reflect on your mindset, your reactions to stress, and your values, remember that connecting your actions to your priorities and values can turn daily stresses and irritations into real moments of meaning. You have the power to take control back so that you can experience less of the negative effects of stress, better health, and an improved outlook on life.